show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Guess who I have in the house with me today? My friend Nancy White. How are you, Nancy?
Oh, I am fantastic, Kim, and I am so happy and grateful to be here with you.
Well, I am equally grateful and happy and honored. And listen, everyone, grab your virtual seats. Go ahead and encourage your friends and family, co-workers, people you love, people you like. Not so much that I'm so fond of them, but it's okay. Grab them anyway, too, and give everybody a chance to hear today's episode. We're going to be talking about how important it is to never give up. I'm saying like never, never, never give up. You can go over, you can go around, you can go under, you can go through. That's a quote that I heard, but guess what? You never, ever give up. And according to our expert today, she's saying, but don't try, don't die trying, don't die trying. I cannot wait to hear what that's about. So we're going to get into that for sure. But I want everybody to be in your seats when you hear that amazing information. Listen, what I want people to know, Nancy, just in like a little nutshell, what can they expect from today's episode from you when they hear you speak today?
Well, one of the things, Kim, I think is so important for people to realize is that we cannot see the future, but we are so grateful that we continually walking forward, keep on going. And then when life happens, and it does to all of us, you know, those are the times that we get to just really dig deep and we get to call on some incredible resources to help. But, you know, one of the things we want to continually do is, again, never give up, but don't die trying. And that'll be fun. We're going to have a little conversation about that.
I can't wait. Can't wait. So what we're going to learn throughout today, we'll get a chance to hear some of the things that Nancy personally put into motion in her own life. And I mean, this woman totally transformed from over the years that I've known you. How long have we known each other, Nancy?
Oh my gosh, I think it's been a couple of decades.
Maybe like early 2000s is when I met you, and maybe 2004 or so.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've been connected, and I literally have never lost connection with you as a person that I just totally adore. And I love your spirit. I love everything about you, actually. So I feel like you're a calming force in this world, you know?
Well, thank you, Kim. And I feel the same about you. And it's been amazing. We were talking a little bit before to see how when I met you, you're a gorgeous rosebud. And now you have become this incredible full bloom rose. So the feeling is mutual.
Oh, well, I guess we could spend time like this all day, everyone. Just us sitting and complimenting each other. And believe it or not, that's even a takeaway point, how important it is to just be able to celebrate another sister, to be able to celebrate another person and find some kind of good quality about that individual. Is that something that you do with, not even with me only, but with other people, right, Nancy?
Yes. And I think it's incredible for us to look for the good, Kim. Because, you know, the negatives always pop out first and foremost. But, you know, when we're meeting people, and even before we meet people, you know, before we have one-on-ones, if it's business or whatever it is, we want to look for the good and not have that critical eye, but also celebrate the gifts and talents in others. And just because, oh my gosh, you and I have been networking for decades. And when you find those incredible resources to use and to share, those are treasures.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me let everybody know who's on today. When was the last time someone celebrated your healthy lifestyle efforts? Well, today we know Nancy's going to help you be celebrated with whatever it is that you're doing to be healthier in your life. But Nancy White is the Healthy Cells chick. I love it. Her business is dedicated to helping individuals thrive physically and financially. She is driven by her passion for preventative living and healthy lifestyle alternatives. Her business assets, it actually assists people with health conscious adults in creating natural, sustainable lifestyles that can be adjusted at any age. So she has over 30 years of experience with research and training, and she provides these resources and supports to entrepreneurs like you all that are tuning in today. I'm not going to give every detail because then you won't get a chance to hear directly from her and her backstory. So welcome, Nancy White, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you again, Kim.
Okay, so when we talk today, I just want to go back a little bit because what I've witnessed is this, Nancy, along the years, and I've actually just seen you become more refined, more calm when it comes to, I don't know what it is, if it's some of the healthy alternatives that you're using, but it's like you're just a calming force. What would you attribute those transformations to in your own personal life?
Well, I have to attribute it and give all the glory to God, because, we can do it our way and stay miserable and frustrated and, bit out of shape all the time. Or we can say, yes, Lord, your way or no way. And, and still that means that, life doesn't happen, but we get to choose again what we're going to do when life is happening. So I really believe for myself and for my sanity and for my well-being, it is making sure that I'm keeping the Lord first and foremost. And, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. I lose it too, just like everybody else. But again, I want to make sure that I'm staying close as I can and following him all the way to heaven.
Yeah, following him all the way to heaven. I love that, just that philosophy, following him all the way to heaven. And you are on a mission to do that. And part of what you've experienced in your journey, you wear a lot of different hats. So talk to us about some of the hats that you wear in this thing called life.
And those hats, just like I remember even one of your first sharing with eWomen, was all the different hats that you would have. But, and as we go through life, when we're mothers and when we're taking care, or when I was a single mom for a season of my life. And then also I had an aging parent. And so part of all those things through life. But, I think one of the things, again, is prioritizing, pacing, and planning. And we can do those things. And then when all of a sudden, somebody throws a rock into it, and, all of a sudden you kind of stop again just for a moment, Kim, and just go, okay.
Say that one more time. Prioritize, what'd you say?
Prioritizing, pacing, and planning. And maybe not all in that. It could be planning or prioritizing and then pacing. But, we have to, there's 3 P's. Yeah. Prioritizing, pacing, and planning. And then again, when we just, we know that we want to keep that mind, strong, active, and healthy. And everything starts in this big computer here, and then gets to our heart, and then we take action, whether it is for our families, our business, or whatever. And again, every single day can be a little bit different. And, this current season in my life, we were sharing a little bit. I became a full-time caregiver, but I absolutely still love having my show and doing the things that I love, serving other people. And again, it may not be as much as it used to be, but I'm not going to give up, and I'm definitely not going to die trying.
I love that you say, even though you are a caregiver and you provide that love and affection to those that you love, but you still have to have the opportunity to do some things that are things that bring you happiness and joy and excitement. And that's your show, one of the things that you do. And so what made you make that commitment that no matter what is going on, I'm going to carve out this time for my show?
I think it's because I really know the value of women in supporting each other and being a part of that, even if it may not be as, active as it used to be, because you and I both know I've been leading networking groups and things over the last 20 years too for women. Yes. But, I don't want to lose that touch. I don't want to lose that because that's part of my gifts and my talents that I'm sowing into others. And also, but make the decision. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. I'm not going to tell you that, there's times where um, I've had to make some adjustments and changes. But you know what? I don't want to let go of me. I don't want to let go of who I am and the things that God has called me to do and to be during this challenging time.
That's really inspiring, Nancy, because a lot of times when people take on different roles and responsibilities that are like almost like a curveball that they weren't
Mhm.
expecting to happen in life, and then now it's like you find yourself thrust into putting everything on hold because now I have to do this. This is what demands my current focus and attention. And it's not a right or a wrong answer, but I just like how you embrace the fact
Mhm.
that yes, I'm going through a difficult time in my life, but I also don't want to lose myself in the midst of me going through this difficult time.
Mhm.
How do you encourage people to grab hold, as my grandma say, grab hold to that concept? Because that's so much, it seems like it's way more difficult for people to really implement. But you've mastered
Mhm.
it. So how do you recommend that?
Well, and also I've been, researching, will continually be a lifelong learner.
Mhm.
And so when I started researching and finding out things about even that 30% of caregivers die before the person they're caring for, I'm sitting there going, whoa, I'm sitting there going, and then also the gifts and the talents and the skills that we have learned over the years have opened up into another whole arena of community, another like for caregivers and support groups and those types of things. And I could just use those gifts and talents and transfer them over into this new community to
Right.
sow into them and also to receive. Oh
Mm.
my gosh, I'm just, an incredible receiver. And so when things come up, things happen, women have to ask for help because, if we're going down a journey and we've never been on that road before, that old adage, men would never pull over to ask for directions. Well, I've learned long time ago, I'd rather learn from you and what you've gone through if it can save me some heartache, time, and discouragement.
I am so glad you're saying that. And exactly like you said, sometimes the stereotype is men and they're gonna just figure it out and drive until they figure it out. Most men I know, they do that. I don't know. I'm like, just
Now we have GPSs, but sometimes they don't work either.
right. And the GPS take you. I'm like, no, I don't care what the GPS is saying at this point. It's taking us to the old address. Okay.
Mhm.
It's not taking us to the new location. So we have to stop and say, where is this new location? We're in the vicinity, but we just need a little bit of help.
Mhm.
And that is a beautiful analogy that you just shared. As women and even men, we when we know that we're struggling in an area, why not just say, can you come and just give me a few hours to run over town or take a shower, even if I'm
Mhm.
still in the same house. If I just
Mhm.
want to do some clothes without having to watch the children at that moment.
Mhm.
Whatever it takes, I talk about that a lot from the balance perspective. Whatever it takes, get the help that you need. And if you don't want to leave the house, then have somebody come in while you're still in the house, but they're focused on the children at that time. So you can do the cooking, the cleaning, the date night if you wanted to date your spouse and have a niece or a nephew or somebody watching your child while
Mhm.
you're still having date night. It's all kinds of solutions. And as you can see with Nancy White here today, you're going to walk away with a whole lot of tips already. Prioritize, pace, and plan. That's already a tip. And then asking for help. Ask for
Mhm.
the help that you need. Any other thing that you can think of just already that would help people that are caring for their loved ones?
Absolutely. You need to prioritize your self care. And that's one of the things that I think for even myself, I've learned some things about self care that I didn't even know, Kim, especially when it came to the emotional strain and stress and what it can do to your body. I mean, we can do our workouts, we can have our jet fuel nutrition, and we can have our quiet time. But you need to learn those things, especially when it comes to the emotional stress and the value of sleeping and recovering, is so imperative. And I just really had no clue until I got into the middle of it all.
Mm. So prioritizing I'm trying to type what you're saying too at the same time. So prioritize your self-care. Okay. Prioritize your self-care. If you, and so you don't realize sometimes until it's too late that then the burnout has happened. Is that what you're saying?
It is. And again, something else too. I mean, we always think that we're invincible, that little mindset. And I just got finished going through rotator cuff repair surgery because I had a torn rotator cuff from taking care of my husband. And he involves a lot of falls. And human nature is, if somebody's falling or whatever, we're going to, reach out to help.
Right.
And so learning some things the hard way, but also for women, when it comes to our physical ability, we have to realize as we continually season and mature, at 72, I'm not going to do the workouts that I did when I was 20. And
wait, so first of all, stop. You trying to brush past like you just didn't just say 72?
I just had my birthday. Yeah.
Girlfriend. Okay, let me put her front and center. There's not one thing about this woman that looks 72 years old. So that's a whole segment that we're going to be talking about today too. How in the world can you look that good at 72 years old, right?
Well, again, you better practice what you preach. So
practice what you preach. Okay. That's a good way of wording it. You look great, Nancy.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
72 years old. But the point you were making is that at 72 years old, sometimes learning some of our physical limitations and not trying to be superwoman physically in that regard, right?
Absolutely. We have to realize that, these temporary temples, we're taking care of them until we get our maintenance-free ones, permanent maintenance-free one. Hallelujah. And then more important that it's fireproof. But we just want to make sure that, we're being mindful. We know that we need to continually move it or lose it to stay strong and well. But I think there's sometimes that we have this little notion, this false notion sometimes that we can still do anything we want to. And we can work on it, but there's things that, again, you have to be wise.
That's right. I'm so glad that we're having this discussion because wisdom is key. And when we lack knowledge or understanding, according to the book that we both believe in, guess what? We can even ask for it. We can say, or whatever it is that I'm lacking when it comes to wisdom in a specific area, show it to me. Put the person in my path that's going to be the person that's going to help me get more knowledgeable in that area. And that's what Nancy White is here to do today. She's helping us get more knowledgeable about our healthy cells. And we're going to be talking about that more right after we take this commercial break. So we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back, Nancy, with more from you. Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to ewomennetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community. Right, everybody. We're back here talking with Nancy White, the healthy sales chick, and you definitely can relate to all of the times that we've spent together with eWomen Network. Look at that back in the day. You remember that, right? That's so amazing. We've been a part of eWomen Network over the years for quite some time, probably close to about 20 years or so.
Mhm,
And so I'm popping up some of the times that this is actually at your home, if I'm not mistaken.
mhm.
You had invited us, and what was the name of the group that we were here?
It was the HeartLink Network.
The Heart Link Network. I'm back there in the back. I just found some different pictures. I was like, I had such a great time overall, just learning more about you and being affiliated with you in every capacity. So I wanted to just share some of these times. Even that Heart Link is a time when we as women came to your home and had a chance to just have a heart connection. And
Mhm.
and was that because of the healthy cells theory, or what was the reason behind it?
No, that was a franchise, Kim, that I had gotten into a business, and so that was another way for me to be able to reach out to women again and to make women feel loved and welcome and empowered in their business and finding those great resources to support each other. And I can remember another beautiful Kim. That when she was sitting in that, did that for about 4 years. I had over 4,000 different ladies in my home, Kim. And so, but another Kim was in that meeting, and the Lord just spoke to her about starting a business. And now she's got a great, lucrative business in Kannapolis in popcorn. And so that was, but I've loved hearing some of the testimonies from some of the women and really what those times together meant. And you mentioned something, even with eWomen Network, about community. And it is huge for women to be a part of a community. And you and I both know it's like two or more, but still, you need to be involved and connected in different seasons of life. They don't have to stay. You know, you and I both know when it's time to leave and when it's time to open up something else new. And we talk about transformations all the time. And that means that you have to stop doing something or less of something and you have to start doing something else new.
That's right.
And that's not always fun and easy, but that mental part is
That's right.
huge because we have the fear of the unknown. And I'm sitting there going, you know what, you can be brave and courageous, and I love that you always combine that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And you have to be able to use that when you are deciding what community you want to link with.
That's good. That's good. And you know what? Every community that I've ever been affiliated with you involved, I feel that heart connection. So I
Mm.
I feel like all of it, you're the owner of it. So I never even know whether it's a franchise or not because it's
Mhm.
Nancy that I'm experiencing. I'm not even experiencing just whatever the franchise is that you're
Mhm.
representing, which I think that speaks volumes to who you are and what gifting God brings through you to the world, because when you share something, I feel like it's a Nancy experience that I'm experiencing, and I'm blessed by it as a result of it.
Thank you.
Well, another thing too is I know I had you on my show one time, and this is when I was filming everyone in person and had the pleasure of having Nancy and Lawrence Wingate on the show. And I had just I had an incredible time with you. You look good there too. Look at you, look at you, Nancy.
Well, look at you, Kim. I know.
My gosh. So now I know you're also in the talk show world. So talk to us about your show some as well.
Well, I think it's really important, even like when Lawrence and I were interviewing entrepreneurs, to find out the backstories, to find out, where people have come from, because it gives people hope. It gives them encouragement to know that people just don't all of a sudden evolve and where they are right now. It's not like poof. It takes that, those hard years, those times of failures, those times of, encouragement. And so even on my show, The Healthy Sales Chick, it's about nurturing the mind, the body, and the spirit, physically and financially, because they both go hand in hand. But finding great resources to share with others, I think, is huge. And
Yes.
you and I both believe in abundance. In this world, there is more than enough. And we want these women, especially, to be able to encourage, inspire, and educate others. And so that's pretty much what Win Win Women TV is about. And I've had my show almost 3 years, and I've had some incredible guests, and all of my guests are incredible, but I'm always learning something from every single one.
So you know what? I realized that in this shot, this is me being a guest on your show, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It was. We were interviewing you.
Oh, that's funny. I'm so used to interviewing everybody. I'm like, I don't remember me putting Gabe's heart in the background like that, but
Mhm.
that's because I was a guest on you and Lawrence's show at that time.
Mhm.
And then I also found this picture, and we're talking. I'm holding up your book, which
Mhm.
is regarding the gratitude reflection and that time together that we need to spend with the Lord. So,
Mhm.
talk to us too about your authoring that particular book, especially being gratitude driven.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of people don't realize the power of journaling, the
Mhm.
power of writing something down. Whether, I'm still a pen and paper girl, but I love my, digital brain too. But I think it's really important for us to physically write down. For myself, in the mornings, I start the day with gratitudes. And at the end of the day, I finish, with gratitudes. And I would hear people say, well, I don't like to journal, don't like to write. And so I said, well, can you fill in the blanks? so, so that was the gratitude reflections and tips. Because people would say, you're a walking encyclopedia from, 30 plus years of knowledge and research and healthy lifestyles and preventative. And so I said, so I, have tips in there. And it's just interesting for us to, again, write down those things, the highlight of the day, the things we're grateful for, the things that were fun. And if we write down nothing that was fun today, I'm sitting going,
That's a problem. That's a
it's a
whole
problem. And then there's also the healthy part. I slept, I drank the amount of water, I ate, and I exercised. And we get to do that accountability. We can be self accountable. It's
That's
great having an accountability partner, and that's awesome. But sometimes we have to put on our big girl panties, and we have to be accountable to ourselves too.
right.
So I think that was, really the basis of creating that, several years ago. But people can do it just with a notebook, Kim. They can do it with whatever. And,
Yes.
it's that little shift. It's making that little shift and that little change that can have huge benefits in the long run.
That's good. And you said a little shift. Sometimes people don't know how to take that first step,
Mhm.
Nancy. And so, what would you recommend people do to take the first baby step? Just the little shift that you just mentioned. What
I
can they
wish
do?
I wish I had my little stop sign because I love my little stop sign. But just stopping just for a moment. Just, have 10, 15 minutes of time that you can just have by yourself and just stop for a moment and just reflect where you are right now. Be honest and open. And again, celebrate the good things that you're doing first. That
Yes.
negative thinking is always right there, but just stop and write down the good things that you've accomplished. You can even just go, okay, so what have I improved from a year ago? There has
Yes.
to be something. I don't care what it is, whether it's, doing skincare or doing, taking better care of yourself, walking, whatever it is. But
Mhm.
acknowledge the good things first and foremost. And then just deciding what is important to you for your enhancement right now. What
I
we're going
put
to
your stop
do.
sign up there.
There's my stop sign. Stop
Just
in the
take a
name of
moment to stop.
love.
Take a moment to stop.
And
Okay.
that,
What's
that,
important?
that, that song, Stop in the Name of Love, well, that's self love. You have to stop for your self love. But
Good.
anyways, just identifying something that you want to enhance or tweak, and then making a plan, prioritizing and pacing. We have to incorporate that. What are you willing to release so you can receive? And that's
Right.
one of the things, we're always releasing to receive and to give. And that's the purpose. Everybody, when you're look and identify your purpose, it's to serve others.
That's right. That's about the size of it. That's what I pretty much talked my whole life up to has
Mhm.
been to serve other people.
Mhm.
Even if everything is not always it's not always about me. It's about the fact that I'm able to provide being used as a vessel
Mhm.
for God's work to be done through me by bringing you on, for example, by
Mhm.
bringing the Healthy Cells chick onto the Kim Jacobs show. I don't have the expertise in every area. So why not bring someone on that can teach and train on this specific subject matter? And then everybody benefits, you know?
Mhm. We all do. And we're going to continually benefit from each other and not be critical. Because, when that critical spirit starts entering in, it's like that worm. You just have to decide, again, just stop, just stop.
Mm,
Is this building up or is this tearing down?
mm. So stop and make sure that you have some self-love, is what I've
Mhm,
heard you say.
mhm,
Making sure that we take that first slight step in the
mhm,
right direction, even if it's a small step. What are things that we've done to improve from last year?
mhm.
Looking at and analyzing, where have you come from? Sometimes we just keep moving like everything's a given, and okay, well, I did that, boop, that's done, and it's over. But what about celebrating the moment that
Mhm.
you did do that? You did that. It's a whole difference in I did that and I did that. I did that. It's a big difference.
Well, can I share just a fun couple of tips? I know I want to be mindful of our time too, Kim, because
Absolutely,
so,
yes.
some things, and people may already know this, but people that dance are 80% less likely to have dementia. So keep those feet moving. And there is a lot of YouTube videos that are exercises that are dancing and stuff like that. So it does a lot of things. It is the exercise, it's the music for the brain. But people that dance are about 80% less likely to have dementia.
So
Another thing is that, if you exercise just 30 minutes 5 times a day, you can increase your longevity potentially 5 to 10 years. So that investment, it's not a torture. It's not something you got to do. It's something you get to do. When you're moving, think about the people that can't. Think about the people that, are in wheelchairs or people that don't have the mobility. I think we take so much for granted until it's taken away or until, we've witnessed that somebody else does not have that ability anymore. And
mhm.
another fun little tip is, when you're having your salad, it's great having salads and everything, but it's really good to have your salad dressing on the side. And when you can monitor that, you can release 5 pounds, just over a year. So those little things add up. The little things, just like, walking or increases, those different things. You think that it may not, but that doesn't give us permission to overdo, to just go, okay, I exercise, so now I can eat all these, French
Right.
fries and
Come
chocolate
back in and
and
eat all the calories.
I
Time to
mean, we still need food, family, and fellowship. And we still need to have those times to be able to enjoy life. But, we get to pace again. If it's your birthday, if it's my birthday and I'm going to eat chocolate cheesecake on my birthday, then I'm going to pace some of the other days because I'm going to enjoy my chocolate cheesecake.
That's right on that day. Okay. So get your body moving, making sure that you dance and move that body around, and that might lower the chances of having dementia. If you're going to have the salad dressing, maybe putting the salad dressing on the side so you could be more in control of the
Mhm.
amount that you're putting on your salad. These are just great tips. And also, we need to continually find out if what we're doing is it building us up or tearing us down.
Mhm.
These are tips already that are shared today by Nancy White, the Healthy Cells Chick. And you can stay connected with her at thehealthycellschick.com. We're going to hear more from her today and even just throughout this whole episode. But I wanted to see what's there behind you, the collagen
Oh,
elixir. So I want to see
it-
what some of those things are behind you and what are people going to learn from your website too.
Well, that's one of the things as we, after we are 30, our body quits making collagen or slows it down. And there's all types of collagen and stuff around. But this is a liquid marine based. And so if people are allergic to fish, they cannot use it. But to me, it tastes like a white grape juice, sort of like communion wine. But anyways,
Okay.
I started incorporating some of this into my body because I did ballet for 9 years and my knees used to grind and when I go up and down the steps. Now I can sneak up on people. I feel like the Tin Man on The Wizard of Oz. I've been oiled. But I think, sometimes people, they want to do it for hair, skin, and nails. I
Right.
really want to keep my joints and everything
Hmm.
moving as smoothly as possible. And um, again, after I had my shoulder surgery, the surgeon said, "Oh my gosh, you had zero inflammation and no arthritis in your shoulder." He said, "That's very rare for," I said, "older people." So,
The most
But
amazing looking 72-year-old people like you,
how
right?
as my eye doctor says, certain things happen because we've had too many or so many birthdays. I'm suddenly going,
Right.
okay. And so, but anyways, but no, I think it's really important for people to know their bodies, to know what's going on with their bodies, and keeping your joints, keeping all these things, keeping the brain, keeping inflammation down, keeping your gut healthy. I mean, God created such a miracle when he created us, and he created us in a way that our body completely regenerates every 6 to 8 years. So we might as well make a new good one. So
That's right. That's right. And that's exactly what you did, Nancy. Literally, you went from when I met you back in the early 2000s to now. It's like you haven't aged a bit. You actually look like you reversed in age from when I first met you, even. So that's I know we attribute that to God, and I understand that 100%. But then I think the wisdom that's been through your business since 2007, which is cultivating that healthy cells chick business that you've been doing, has made a tremendous difference. So, what do you hope to accomplish even further with the healthy cells chick? Because you've already accomplished so much.
Because I want to be at least 100 years old, but I also don't want to. I don't want to age. I just want to keep getting older. But I also want to help encourage others too, because give yourself a break. When you're doing the best that you can, and you still haven't seen any results or changes, maybe you just need another person's perspective or somebody else's input. And it's not somebody that just wants to try to sell you something. It wants to be somebody that, again, has your best interest. And so what do I help to accomplish is I want to help continually people to be able to be their best versions of themselves. And even if they have to go through shoulder surgery, or do something that because you've had an injury that you didn't plan, again, it comes with that mind, it comes with forgiveness, it comes with a lot of different things. But that's what I want to help Kim, is to continue on to cheer other people on, to celebrate the good things they're doing, and just offer some suggestions and resources that can help them where they are.
Wow. And so people can find a lot of, just so you all that are tuning in, you can find so many of these resources right on the Healthy Cells Chick website. And so when you go there, first of all, you're going to get to see this beautiful video over here with Nancy giving you a welcome video. And also you'll get a chance to take a Healthy Chick Check quiz so that you can learn where you can decrease stress and increase your energy levels. You're going to learn a lot about the services that's offered to mothers, to millennials, to baby boomers, cancer thrivers, you name it. Over on the healthycellschick.com page, you're going to walk away with a wealth of knowledge. And you'll learn more as well about what Nancy is passionate about. I like to give people a visual, so that's why I wanted to pull this up for you to see even the collagen difference that's made between using the elixir that she promotes and what it's done for some of the customers. So I can't wait for you to go to thehealthycellschick.com to learn more about Nancy and her beautiful services. All right, let's talk for a minute from just a personal perspective. Now, you've been married for how long, Nancy?
30 years.
Ooh,
but it's my third marriage, Kim.
Oh.
But it's been 30 years.
But you've been married over the course of 30 years, is what you said?
No. This marriage has been 30 years.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say, what? I've never heard that. You ready to throw me way off, Nancy. You've been married to this person that you're married to now for 30 years. Yes. And I should have got a picture or something for you and your husband. Is it on your Facebook page?
There may be. I'm not sure.
Anyway, she's been married for 30 years. And so what has that journey been like for you, being married to one person for 30 years?
And I think it's one of those adventures that, as time goes on, it's like you're in today, you're in the present. But when you look back and you reflect over, how you made it, I mean, just like everybody, there's been good times, there's been stressful times, there's been times where disagreements, especially when it came to my mom and being caregiver and helping her during that time. And, we've never had children together. So I had 2 children that he helped to raise. So there's been conflict, but when you are trusting God and you're walking in forgiveness, and you have to continually do that, it's not an easy journey. But God never said it'd be easy. He just said He'd never leave us. And so, but being with somebody for 30 years, it's been, again, a journey. And looking back is pretty interesting because my beautiful daughter is my best friend and my advocate. And my son-in-law is just an incredible, precious person that has been great, helpful to me. And so with the situation that's going on right now too, Kim, he was asking, he goes, do you think your mom would ever get remarried? And my daughter said, no.
Doubt it. Doubt it.
I said, no, I'm going to be grateful to spend time with my grandchildren and my children. And just, I want to be able to continually sow into others. But you know what? As soon as you say no way, what does the Lord say?
Never say never.
I'm not going to say, I'll go your way or no way, Lord. That's the only way I'm going to
say your way, Lord. So I personally, I want to be remarried again in my lifetime. So I actually would love to be married again because I thought I was going to be a wife for the rest of my life anyway. So I had already prepared for that,
And so, but now you are wiser and you also have knowledge and you also just, and God sees your heart. He sees your heart, Kim, and He knows that He's got that person for you. If you have that desire, then He's going to bring that person into your life, and it's going to be an amazing way to complement. Because I will tell you the truth. I have seen other Christian couples that are so loving and kind, and they just, serve each other and do things. And, I'm not comparing, and I'm not jealous, but I see that it is possible. And I think that's something that is great. I met a gentleman that he is a pastor, and he helps men in relationships with themselves and the Lord. And you and I both know it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. That's right. You have to have your relationship with the Lord first and foremost to be flourishing and growing and strong as individuals. And then when you come together, then that's when that really just continually grows and flourishes. Not perfect, but you have to, and you can't do it. I can't do it for anybody else. You can't do it for anybody else. No. It's a choice.
And I agree. You already have to be a whole person, already complete in what God has for you personally. Not that you're like at the pinnacle of your life and that everything is going to be perfect as you being a human being per se, but just not coming to a relationship or into a marriage or into anything like that, thinking somebody else is going to complete you. I don't need anybody else to complete me. I'm already complete in Jesus Christ. I'm already complete as an individual. But I like the compliment of someone else happening, if that makes sense. Right. Nice little beverage break. Let's do it.
And going back to just what you said at the very beginning, how can I be the way I am now? And it is because of that. It is because that I am complete in the Lord and my relationship with Him. And that is so valuable. That is the most valuable thing that I have.
That's it. And let me put this picture up. I do see that I found this on social media. This is you and your guy, right? And y'all are on a dinner date or something. So I just wanted to acknowledge your husband and definitely acknowledge him. And I know that even right now in a more difficult season of his life, you have proven to still be by his side and encouraging those that have tuned in today that even if their spouse is going through really hard times, any word of encouragement you can share with them?
Absolutely. Somebody told me that, with this mean, ugly disease, he has Lewy body dementia, and it is a really mean, ugly disease. Said that he's still the same inside in his heart, even though the brain and everything is deteriorating, disintegrating, and his actions and things are not him, it's the disease. And to me, that's really hard. I'm a real black and white kind of person. I'm very logical, Kim. And so it's been really challenging for me to go through and to see and witness something that is continually deteriorating and knowing that it's not going to get better.
Wow. I'm glad you said that, because it takes us, again, that's probably how God created you, a kind, compassionate person that can even be able to endure something like that, because it's not for the faint of heart, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It says Lewy body dementia is the second most common type of dementia after Alzheimer's disease. Protein deposits called Lewy bodies develop in the nerve cells in the brain, and they affect involving thinking, memory, and movement. And I got that off of Mayo Clinic. If
Mm-hmm.
anybody wants to look up the Lewy body dementia more and learn more about it. So, do you also recommend too that people will bring in some additional help in situations like that, so that the person
Hallelujah. Absolutely. And that's where the body of Christ comes in, and friends and family. And even though you have to pay for caregiving and do some things, out of that, absolutely, you need to ask for help. You need to receive it. And just like you had said, even for moms, just going and doing something, taking a bubble bath or whatever, but having a break, because when you're around something 24/7, I love having great conversations, Kim,
Yeah,
that we
you're
can
a
understand.
lifelong networker. Of course you do.
I know it is. And it's just like, we take for granted some things until it's gone. And one of the things that comes back to having that grateful heart every single day for, what we have. But I think asking for help, again, for women or for men.
Mhm.
And I'm part of a great caregiver support group. I mean, there's things out there that we need to tap into, those rich resources. It just makes life, I'm not going to say more bearable, but we get to go through times where we can endure some things where other times we just, go, I give up.
Right. I'm glad that you're saying that, because it is easier for people to give up. But if there are resources and support groups and networking groups that understand with the people what you're dealing with, then it
Mhm.
makes it a little bit more palatable or manageable, or whatever the case may
Mhm.
be. And again, it goes back to things that God had already put in your heart over the years to
Mhm.
prepare you for such a time as this. So the gratitude that you have in your heart didn't just start now dealing with your husband. It's
Mhm.
been embedded in who you are, ingrained in Nancy White, you know? I know this is more of an episode of me just complimenting you. You're like, huh? I didn't know she was going to be putting some
Yes.
comments in today. I love, love, love you. And I'm so grateful
No.
to know you. Oh, okay. What are any other tips that you really wanted people to walk away knowing today that maybe you haven't had a chance to share yet?
I think again, stopping to assess where you are and celebrating is so huge, but also reaching out when you feel pewy and you feel like, oh Lord, you're going to carry me today, but reaching out to somebody else, doing a deed of kindness, contacting somebody else that needs to be encouraged, inspired, lifted up is huge. And I think that's so important for all of us. Sending that nice thank you note, real note, or whatever. Or, you know, my next door neighbor had a little girl that was in the hospital. I made a gigantic pot of soup. I couldn't carry it because my shoulder was not well
Right,
yet. But
right.
her teenage son came over and got it. And so, but doing little deeds of kindness to other people are the ways that, again, it gets the focus off of us, but it helps you to be able to share and do things and still be Jesus's hands and feet, or, and that's one of the things I think is so important for all of us. It doesn't have to be gigantic or whatever, costly or whatever. Just, find somebody to encourage and you and I both got to meet, oh gosh, Zig Ziglar before he died. And, and I love one of his quotes. In fact, I've got his quote book that I have beside here. He said, if you come across somebody that doesn't have a smile, give them yours. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to show those little deeds of kindness.
Yes,
But I will tell you, the rewards, whatever we sow, there will be a harvest.
that's right.
But we don't do it with ulterior motives or false intentions.
I agree. And speaking of sewing, and I know you wouldn't know I have this picture, but I found this old picture here. And this is at the 5K walk for Gabe's Heart Foundation.
Mm.
Many years ago, here you are again. You can see that your hair is great now. I've known Nancy for well over 20 years. And here is her at one of the earlier years of the Gabe's Heart Foundation 5K walk, supporting the event. And I just want to say thank you because, again, that was a wonderful, kind deed. You just showing up at the 5K walk in honor of my son that transitioned from this earth. And so I thank you for that.
Well, and I thank you, Kim, for establishing the foundation for Gabe, because it has really brought awareness to so many families and people about something that was unseen, and that, for people and parents to be able to check some things out, because and I know you've got you're talking about the 9th one that's coming up, which is huge, but the wisdom and that knowledge that you have shared to other families and other people about this, you will never see that ripple effect. But I just admire you and your whole team that have pulled this together for the awareness.
Thank you so much, Nancy. And I do want everybody to know that if you're interested this year in being a sponsor for Gabe's Heart Foundation's 5K walk for 2024, you can immediately reach out to us, Kim, at gabesheartfoundation.org. It gives you a chance to put your logo on the back of the t-shirt. And believe it or not, we see it everywhere around the country. I've seen people just standing on the street, and I'm like almost wrecked because they're wearing a Gabe's Heart shirt. And I'm like, that's a Gabe's shirt. So I'm so excited about it. And this year we moved our walk to be, let me move that for a second. We moved our walk to be October 19th, 2024. And that's because October is Sudden Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month. And with it being sudden cardiac arrest that Gabe experienced, I wanted to make sure that we do the 5K walk during that month. And so we're going to do it October 19th at 8 a.m. You can walk virtually. I don't know how to, but anyway, you can walk virtually or in person. And so make sure that you go to gabesheartfoundation.org to learn more, and make sure you do that as soon as possible. It's free for you to come and walk. If you'd like to make a donation, we'd love for you to send a donation. We request or ask maybe $15 or something, but you can also get t-shirts, and t-shirts are $20. So either way, we appreciate you being a part of the 5K walk this year. And just so everybody gets to see who Gabe is, in case you don't know who this gentle giant is, let me find a photo of him. This is a good one. I just like this photo right here.
Aww.
Gabriel Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And so we will be giving a defibrillator out at the 5K walk this year, thanks to one of the sponsors, our primary sponsor, for donating that this year. And I'll make sure that we give special recognition to all of our sponsors as well. But it's in honor of Gabe, and we get a chance to put a defibrillator in public spaces where young people congregate. That gives the paramedics a chance to be able to arrive on the scene and hopefully be able to perform their life-saving measures. So that's the goal. All right. Well, I think we covered a lot, Nancy. Do you?
We have. We've been around a few blocks, Kim.
So what do you say is like a fun fact about you? Because I know we talked about a lot of heavy stuff, and we talked about some cell regeneration and collagen and looking as good as you are at 72 and all of that. What's a fun fact about you that people wouldn't know?
Oh my gosh, that they wouldn't know. I used to ride Harleys when I was in high school. I got to work out with Arnold Schwarzenegger 50 years ago. What are some other fun facts about me?
Those are amazing.
I love hummingbirds, and I have on my back porch. This is my pets right now, because all it takes is sugar and water, and and I've got 5 feeders, and I have about 8 hummingbirds that come, and that's my time. I get to sit out there and just enjoy the beauty and watch these little hummers, fly around. So.
Oh, and Vicki L. Evans is on. She said, "Hey, Nancy, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I see Renita. I see you all. I see you, Marvin. I see you, Mom. I see you, Robin. I see you, Linda, Dr. Linda. I see you, Kairos. All of you all, I want to acknowledge you, Vaughn. I see you all. I see all of you that are tuning in. Destiny, I see you. If you, sometimes when people don't put comments, I don't get to always acknowledge them, but I do see you all over here, and I just want to take the time to thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. That was fun, learning some fun facts about you. Are you going on any special trips anytime soon in life? Any things on your bucket list?
I do. I've got a beach trip coming up with my girlfriend, and making all the arrangements for care for my husband is like being an airport controller. And so, but I want to keep him home, Kim, so it doesn't throw him off. But that's coming up the end of September.
You're going to have a good time.
And I love that your walk is in October this year because it's going to be a little bit cooler.
Right, I know. And so when people come out at 8 a.m., they walk, we socialize, we'll see a CPR defibrillator demonstration, and then people keep it going for the rest of their day. And so definitely I'm excited about that. All right, let me also take a moment to say happy birthday to someone special here with the Kim Jacobs Show. She's very near and dear to our heart. And I want to pop her up and say, happy birthday to you, Dr. Lotus Richer. We're so excited that you are who God created you to be, and we celebrate you today. We do not take it for granted that God has given you another year on this earth, and to God be the glory. And so happy birthday, many more years to come. And she's always giving and pouring out and showing just tremendous love to everybody else. So I'm just honored to be able to say happy birthday. I can't sing now. Are you able to sing, Nancy?
No, but I want to encourage you to just keep having them.
many more years.
Yes, many more. Keep having them.
That's what we all want, right? And so happy birthday, Dr. Lotus Richer. And then I also want to let you all know that tomorrow, and now I say tomorrow, so you might be watching this as a repeat in the future. So if it's every Thursday, that's what I'll say. Every Thursday, starting September 5th, we're going to be having what's called Promise Hour Bible Study. It's Promise Fellowship is the name of the church, and we're going to be having Promise Hour Bible Study right from the comfort of your home. And you can actually tune in on Facebook and this is a QR code and stuff there, but you can tune in on Facebook or YouTube. And it's not a show, it's actually Bible study. So I'll be definitely spearheading the conversation, but we will have other co-teachers on each week. Anybody that wants to be a part of the teaching for that week. And this week we have Samantha Benson, Dr. Clara Walton, Pastor Margaretta Young, Pastor Lamont Josie, Dr. Marcia Alston. And the topic for this Thursday is Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10, fear not. That's what we're going to be talking about, how to fear not. And let's break that scripture down. I'm telling you in advance so that way you can also come with your own thoughts and you can bring any translation that works best for you. But let's focus on how to get past fear. That's what we'll be talking about tomorrow. All right, Nancy, we did this. 2 more minutes left. What's a closing comment that you have for everyone?
Well, Kim, I just think it's incredible what you are continually doing in sowing into others around the world, and even starting this new prayer session. It is so important because, it says where there's 2 or more, that's where he is. And so when you are going to continually bring life to the word, and the word brings life to us, but when you are making the effort to bring it forth, Kim, it just makes God smile so much, and it makes the enemy so unhappy. But it doesn't matter because we're going to tell him to stay in his own.
Nobody mad but the devil, right?
No, but I just really want to encourage everybody to continually nurture your mind, your body, and your spirit. You can't leave anything out, or one of those areas are going to start saying, "Excuse me, you forgot about me," and you're going to start seeing some no balance there, Kim. And it's we continually want to keep working at it. Never, ever, ever give up, and don't die trying, because when we try in our own efforts, we know what that ends up and results in: frustration, aggravation, suffering. So don't die trying. Just continually learn from the Lord and let him guide us.
That's good. So that's what the don't die trying means, because I did want to make sure that we did not leave
It
without
is, because we try to do it out of our own efforts. And, again, we have to use that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for every season.
That's for every season. We don't have to die trying, because if we're doing it right, the way that God has orchestrated for us to do it, then we can just be like, whoosh. Some deep breathing exercises. And the Healthy Cells Chick, what made that be the name of your whole theme? Healthy Cells Chick.
Because I know when we have those healthy cells, they create healthy glands, healthy organs, and healthy bodies, and including that brain. And so, so many people are so obsessed with what you look like on the outside, but I am more obsessed and concerned about what you're doing on the inside, because it'll show on the outside.
It does. And you're a perfect example of that, Nancy, for whatever healthy cell stuff you got going on the inside that you promote on healthycellschick.com. It's literally somebody that's living and practicing what they preach. That is important. It's a big difference in somebody telling you to do something and they're not willing to do it themselves. Nancy White is a healthy cells chick that is practicing what she preaches. So y'all check out thehealthycellschick.com, and chick is CHICK in this case. Okay. healthycellschick.com. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. If you have not partnered with us in the past or would like to partner with us even further, make sure you go to Cash App and do $ Kim Jacobs Inc. And make sure you go to paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. You can do Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show, or you can even Zelle 704-962-7161. You can become a Patreon member, and you can get exclusive content there, as well as join our motherdreamer.com/join program. And I say all of those because I have a lot of audio podcast listeners that aren't seeing it. So that's why I'm reading everything. But take a minute to screenshot this and today donate. So let's take a picture in case people, because sometimes people screenshot and I'm looking any old kind of way. So I'm like, let me. All right, it's like you pose. Do not be screenshotting me and I'm sitting over here with my mouth like, doing all kind of stuff. All right, everybody. Listen, thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you, Nancy White, for being my very special guest.
Thank you, Kim.
All right. I love you all, and we'll see you all Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you in